website, and also on Zoom. If you have not registered, you can go on to our Facebook or YouTube. Yeah. And to all viewers, do say hi, drop in and say hi and let us know where you're joining us from, whether you're in Zoom chat or on Facebook, in the comment section, on the chat section. So we would love to hear from you so that we know, where you are. We're all one big family. Right. For our webinar this time around, we are honored to have with us Miss Janet Maro from Tanzania, all the way from Tanzania, who will be sharing her vast experiences and insights on our topic of organic production in Tanzania. Without further ado, let me introduce to you our special guest today. Miss Janet Maro hails from Old Moshi, Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. She went on to pursue a degree in Bachelor of Science and in Agricultural Economics from Sokoine University. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, Miss Janet. In Agricultural Economics from Sokoine University of Agriculture. Then continued her postgraduate studies at the same university in Masters of Science in Project Management. Ms. Maro is the co-founder and Chief Executive Officer for Sustainable Agriculture Tanzania, or SAT, which is the focal point of our talk today, I believe. It is a local organization which works at the national level, specifically with smallholder farmers, with the aim of building capacity for them to earn an income from practicing sustainable and environmental friendly agriculture. Apart from working with farmers from her home country, she has also worked with communities in Malawi and Ethiopia on agroecology and sustainable agriculture. Ms. Maro was also a finalist for Tanzania Women of Achievement Awards 2013, as well as Guardian International Development Achievement Award in 2014. She is a board member of Hand in Hand Eastern Africa. So this is a Kenyan and Tanzanian organic agriculture movement. She has also represented Tanzania in various high-level roundtables and panel talks on post-millennium development goals, prepared plans for the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and so on. She was also invited to share her vast experience in SAT at the Second International Agroecology Symposium of the Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, in Rome, Italy. And to add on to all these long accolades, outside of work, Ms. Maro is also a wife and a mother of 3 beautiful children. Now, some background organization that she works with, which is the Sustainable Agriculture Tanzania, SAT. I won't go into it too much because I think Ms. Maro will elaborate further on them in her talk, yeah? But just as a background, as an introduction, SAT is a grassroots organization that started about 12 years ago in 2009, promoting ecological agriculture. And the best thing about SAT is that it was founded based on farmers' needs by working together with farmers on challenging agricultural issues. And this has resulted in a number of positive experiences. And I find this very amazing. SAT adopts a holistic approach by collaborating with various stakeholders, including universities, companies, government agencies, ministries, and so on. And this has established SAT's main pillars, which is dissemination, education, research, networking, and so on. So SAT at the moment has about 52 full-time staff, some interns, a number of volunteers, and they have worked with vast number of farmer groups, more than 6,000 farmers in over 70 villages, especially in the Morogoro municipal districts and region. I think she will also share with us on the farmer training center that SAT runs and the activities that they conduct. And this is the first center in Tanzania that focuses on agroecology, specifically on agroecology. And they have trained over 3,000 participants from different parts of the world. So FTC, or the Farmer Training Center, has also conduct research and experiments on farming strategies, technologies, and they work closely with Sokoine University of Agriculture, They work with students, with researchers, with bachelor students, master students, PhD students, uh, interns, and so on. And they host all kinds of groups that they can work with along with farmers at their field sites. And they have won international awards like the Lush Spring Prize Award for Sustainable and Regenerative Project in 2017. So I feel so inspired already by all this information, and very, very excited at the same time to hear Ms. Maro's presentation and sharing with us in a little while. But before we take off, just a quick note to all our viewers, we welcome you all to join in our discussion. It is intended to be an open discussion, so please feel free to send in your questions in our direction. But like Dr. Elisa said just now, do type in your questions and we will try to answer as many as possible as time permits at the end of Ms. Maro's talk. Yeah. So also, in addition, if anyone has any resources such as links, websites, journals, reports that you'd like to share with the others, you are welcome to post them in the chat on Zoom or comment box on FB so that we can all benefit from this session. Please feel free to share. Sharing is caring. Okay. Now, I will pass this session to Ms. Maro to start her presentation. Are you ready, Ms. Maro?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. So if you're ready, then I'll pass it now to you. Over to you. Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for the warm introduction. And first, I would like to say it's a very great honor for me to be able to join today as part of the series on the international webinar that is organized by SRI. I saw it's the Malaysian Agroecology Society for sustainable resource intensification. And I hope maybe I will get to know about it also during the discussions and get to hear from members of SRI and also what they're doing and how we can also keep the discussion forward beyond this event today. As I have been introduced, and thanks to Dr. Elisa who invited me to be able to share today. I greatly appreciate, and I'm very happy to be able to speak to people in Malaysia. My name is Janet Maro, as I've been introduced. I am co-founder and Chief Executive Officer of Sustainable Agriculture Tanzania, which is a non-governmental organization. We started work in 2009 in Tanzania. Our work is focused on organic agriculture and similar approaches which care for the soil, care for the environment, which are based on principles of fairness, also transparency, and yes, getting healthy, nutritious food without having negative impact on the environment and ensuring the welfare of the communities. And Sustainable Agriculture Tanzania was launched as an organization. We got registered in 2011. And since then, we have been working and growing the organic movement in Tanzania. We are part of the network, as you will see when I go through my slides. We're part of the organic network in Tanzania, and we have been able to achieve quite significant progress in the country on organic agriculture. But first, just to give you a small overview of SAT. Okay. Yes, so to give you a small overview of SAT, our vision is that the majority of farmers are using acknowledged agroecological methods to improve their livelihoods, conserve the environment, and reduce pressure on natural resources. This has been our vision as an organization. As I said, we aim to have more farmers really benefiting from producing a healthy organic food, that they're able to improve their livelihoods, get their children to school and have a decent life, but also get income to be able to manage other responsibilities in life, medical, also to have economic development. And conservation of the environment is very, very close to our hearts, because with global warming, with climate change, we know that agriculture, when done in ways that are not sustainable, when agriculture is done in ways that are not sustainable, it is one of the major causes of environmental degradation. It's one of the major causes of global warming and through greenhouse gas emissions. And so environmental conservation is very close to the agroecology initiatives we do, because they help to counter the negative impacts on the environment. So here you'll see that we use compost to add nutrition to the soil and provide nutrition for the crops, to also improve the water holding capacity of the soil, and to also using mulch to reduce water loss, and planting trees, which at the end of the day, some do biological nitrogen fixation. They also provide other benefits like fruits and biomass for adding nutrition to the soil, but also they do carbon sequestration. Trees help to sequester carbon in the atmosphere, and hence reduce the severity. And that's why the conservation of the environment. And reduction of pressure on natural resources. This is because with agroecological practices, and in particular, the knowledge on livelihoods, and not relying on heavy, intensive use of fuel wood, like of firewood, and using energy-saving stoves, which use much less firewood than normal stoves, helps to reduce the amount of trees that are cut down. Also, producing briquettes from residues of crops, like the maize stalks, or some shrubs from some of the trees that farmers use in their agroforestry systems, helps to reduce pressure on natural resources, and hence less cutting down of trees and less encroaching of forest reserves. So that is briefly expanding on our vision and why we have this vision. So at the end of the day, we see majority of farmers being able to grow healthy, nutritious crops for themselves to consume and have improvement in health and nutrition, but also to sell the surplus in the market and be able to get extra income to be able to afford other sources of other livelihoods. And while doing this, they conserve the environment through the environmental services they provide as they do their farming, and they reduce pressure on natural resources by not encroaching in forest reserves, and rather using alternative sources of fuel. And our mission as an organization is to transform farming practices in Tanzania through proper knowledge dissemination. We believe that when people have the right information, the right knowledge, then they're able to make the right decision and do the right thing. And so most of our work really relies on knowledge dissemination. And you will see in the next slides, we do that through training. And we train farmers at our farmer training center, but we also train farmers in the field. And the training in the field especially is done in using a demonstration plot approach. And there farmers get to be able to learn from preparation of a plot, to start planting seeds, managing young seedlings, transplanting in the field, managing and taking care of the crop until it produces, and harvesting, post-harvest handling and management. And in this way, really farmers get the knowledge on how to do farming in a way that is not detrimental to the environment. And also through dissemination, here we aim to also reach a bigger audience of farmers beyond those that are within the region where we operate. So we also produce information materials. We contribute we contribute articles in the monthly Pharma magazine. Also, we participate in radio programs to be able to create knowledge and disseminate, to be able to share and disseminate knowledge. And we participate in agriculture exhibitions. So in Tanzania, every year we have an agriculture exhibition in the month of August. And normally we participate in over 3 regions, and we are able to reach several thousand people who attend these exhibitions, and we get to build awareness about organic agriculture. So this year, for example, this exhibition did not take place. So we organized an own exhibition, and it's currently going on in Dodoma. If you check on our Facebook page, you will see we started day before yesterday, and we'll be going through the weekend with exhibiting different organic agriculture practices. And the place is open. People can come for free to see and learn, and also to be able to buy some organic products during this period of the exhibition. And we aim to have more and more people getting aware. So we know if they're aware, then they will do organic agriculture, they will practice it. But also if people are aware, then they will consume healthy organic food. And once they consume healthy organic food, it means that the demand for organic food also goes up, and hence it will boost more and more farmers to continue producing organic foods, to organic products, to be able to supply to the knowledgeable and conscious consumers who demand healthy organic food. And with the capacity building, to build the capacity of farmers so that they can effectively participate in the value chain. So when we started, we thought just building capacity or training farmers alone is not is very good. We'll have more farmers knowledgeable and able to produce, but the value chain approach and the whole how do you enable farmers to participate in the value chain and be able to benefit also with the like the business or trade or economics of food production. And so this aspect is very important as well. And so farmers are not just there as producers. So they're producers, but also they're people who are knowledgeable with their product and can really tell the benefits of the product and be able to sell it. And this is, and to be able to sell it and sell it at a decent price. Because typically in Tanzania, you'll find that in agriculture, you have the middleman, and it's always the middleman going and just saying, okay, I want your tomatoes, I give you this amount of money, and you have not many options as a farmer. So you just accept and say, okay, give me that money, take the tomatoes. But we try to change this scenario. And so farmers are knowledgeable of their product. So it's not just tomato where somebody will just come and say, I'm giving you this amount of money for those tomatoes, but the farmer knows the value and worth of the tomatoes. And also the farmer is well informed about the market and market trends. So even the farmer can negotiate the price for the produce. Then to collaborate with relevant partners in the public and private sector in order to strengthen their capacity on agroecology. So here we collaborate and we work with other like-minded organizations in Tanzania, but also with the government. And here we really have projects that you will see in the next slides better. But the aim is that we are not just staying in isolation, but rather we are part of a movement, part of a network, and we really support and proactively engage the beyond farmers. We proactively engage people beyond farmers. And so we work very closely with the public sector, with the government, and in particular the Ministry of Agriculture, also the Ministry of Livestock, the Ministry of Local Government at the national level. And then we have the respective regions where we have our operations. And we make sure we have a very good working relationship, which is transparent, and also we are accountable for the work we do. And so we report regularly to our partners and also to the community where we work. For the communities, we have monthly newsletters that we circulate with information about the project we're implementing and what we have been able to implement in the particular month and what we plan to implement in the next month. So you see, the community is part and parcel of the project implementation, but they're also informed and are up to date. Also in the steering committee of the projects, we have the beneficiaries as part of the steering committee of the project to make sure that their interests are really featured and that the projects we're implementing are really owned by them. And to work as a credible organization, which has a transparent, accountable, and cost-efficient approach to the holistic transformation of agriculture into an environmentally friendly and economically viable sector. Since we started in 2009 until we got registered in 2011, the issue of credibility has been very core to our work. And since when we started in 2009, organic agriculture was still not very well spoken about and not very well known. So working on getting credibility as an organization and as organic agriculture in the country was a very important mission for us to have as an organization. And we thought we can really be credible if we are very transparent, we work openly, and also we show tangible results, tangible impact of organic agriculture. And in this way, people will see and believe and really understand and support organic agriculture. And the issue of economic viability, environmental friendliness, and also social acceptability is very, very crucial. And we have been ensuring this. And I must say, this has to a large extent contributed to the success of organic agriculture and the movement in Tanzania. And our organization has 4 main pillars. We have retained them since we started. And we have the pillar of dissemination of knowledge that feeds into our mission of knowledge dissemination as well. But to expound further on this, we use an efficient hands-on approach for disseminating knowledge. And with this, we mean that we train farmers and show in practice. So our trainings are mostly, at least 80% are based on practicals, because we believe if you do something and learn with your hands and see how it's done with your eyes, hear how it's done with your ears, and get to do it with your hands, then you really get to understand the concept. And this is also because we work with majority of farmers who do not have maybe very high levels of education or training. And some of them have not been into any school or have not attended any class. So we are an inclusive organization. And so with a hands-on approach, we are able to get everyone on board, and get everyone to be able to participate. And the pillar of application and marketing, here we engage the whole value chain with all actors in the value chain. And we start from knowledge dissemination, production, processing, packaging, processing, value addition, packaging, and marketing. So we do all this process. And at the moment, we have, since last year, we established a company. It's called SAT Holistic Group Limited. Later on, I will write the homepage on the chat box, so you can also get to visit and see. But the company is established as a social business of the organization, so as to better or to effectively carry out the aspects of marketing and selling of the organic products. For those of you who might know SAT, you know that we have had an organic shop that we have been running since 2012, so for almost 10 years. And so it reached a point where the shop was getting too big to be able to manage it or to still run it under the organization. So we decided to establish a social company, a social business for SAT, and this will be doing the marketing aspect of our organic products that we produce. And also here, I will mention that in our network, we have farmers who are certified organic, and farmers certified organic using the East Africa Organic Product Standards and using the East Africa Organic Mark. And the products are sold within Tanzania. And since we established the social business of SAT with the company, and since the company aims to do business or trade within Tanzania, but also beyond, we are currently working on also getting third-party certification for some of the farmers who have had PGS certificate, who have had PGS and certification with the East Africa Organic Product Standards. So I think next week we will have an external inspection for the third-party certification taking place. And so far, we had the pre-inspection in April and May. It was very good. So now is the final inspection, and we hope they can get certified and be able to sell their products in the market in Tanzania, but also across East Africa and beyond. So in Malaysia, if you want some organic products from Tanzania, from the SAT network, I think soon it will be possible to be able to have these products as well, going beyond Tanzania with organic certification. Then we have the pillar of research. With the pillar of research, here we collaborate with the Sokoine University of Agriculture, and our approach to research is a bit different, because we know conventional research whereby, yes, one will go to the library, read through some previous research work and see recommendations for further research and get a research topic to go and work on. But also we know someone can sit and come up with a research idea and go out and do the research idea. And it's not necessarily that the research idea the person came up with or the research idea one picked up from previous done research work is relevant and can address the immediate problems that farmers are actually facing in the field. So we thought, why not work with researchers to be able to do demand-driven research, whereby the research problem originates with the people who anyhow will need the solution and choose whatever solution that is proposed. So we came up with a farmer-centered research program whereby farmers in the course of the year, as they do their various agroecological practices, they identify areas or challenges which they don't have immediate solutions to. And once they identify these areas, we support them to be able to put them into themes and topics that will be addressed or presented to researchers. And researchers then pick these issues, develop research problems, develop research topics, then research proposals, and get to be able to do research together with the farmers and find joint solutions. So in this process, farmers get to participate in finding solutions to problems they have brought about. Also, they get to understand the problem better, and the researcher gets to have their research done. And mostly the researchers are final year students, either at undergraduate or postgraduate level. So we do with final year students at bachelor's, also at master's. And for the PhD students, they do the research even longer because they're required to do at least 4 seasons of research before their graduation. So in this way, really, they're able to work together and find joint solutions to problems. And we've been doing this for almost 7 years. And so far, we have had over 100 completed research works done. And others have had follow-up research after the research has finished, but the solutions were not final. So we have it, we have the research continuing, and we expect for continuing research, we expect once done, then we really have identified the problem and have a solution, and we can publicize and also disseminate the finding for other farmers in other parts of the country. And I will take maybe 2 examples to emphasize this and how useful this type of research is. For example, we had a situation with cattle keepers, the Maasai, as part of our Farmers and Pastoralist collaboration project. There was a sickness that goats had. So the goats will be turning around and then just falling down and dying. And they did not know what was the problem. So they brought this problem to the researchers during one of the workshops. And a researcher picked this topic, went on to look through literature and work together with a pastoralist. They could identify the problem, and also they could trace back to be able to find what causes the problem. And once they knew what the problem was and what causes the problem, then it was getting what could be the solution was even much easier, because everyone knew what the problem was and what causes it. So it's the practice of hygiene and sanitation and ensuring clean living area for the goats, but also to make sure that the place where the goats go to feed is not contaminated and are not consuming contaminated feed is one solution to make sure that this problem of goats going around and falling down and dying is solved. And another research that we have ongoing, which we had a student doing it at his bachelor's, then he went on to do it at his master's as well, is the issue of black pepper spike shedding. I'm not sure if in Malaysia you do spice production, but maybe during the discussion later I'll get to hear. But indeed, the black pepper spike shedding is a serious problem in spice growing areas. And for us in Tanzania, especially in Morogoro, in the Uluguru Spice Project area, this problem has affected a lot of pepper plants, black pepper plants. And when it affects the plant, it makes, first the plant will turn yellow, and then it will shed off the leaves and it dies. And it just dies like that. So it has been, it's an ongoing research because first it's not clear if it's a fungal problem, if it's a viral problem, and what possible remedies could be used. So currently we have another student further working on this research problem. And we say we will not give up until we find what is the actual cause and what could be the solution to this problem before it eradicates the pepper plants in Morogoro. So that's just some examples. And in the overall financing for research on organic agriculture or agroecology and other alternative sustainable approaches, generally the research funding is very limited. And I read papers in the past and even recently, you'll see that out of the funding that goes to research, you'll find it's more than 90% of research funds going to conventional agriculture. And the amount that goes to organic agriculture or agroecology is still very, very small. So it is important that we try to mobilize and put efforts together to see how we can finance research on organic agriculture and agroecology and be able to find solutions really that work for this way of farming. Yeah. And yes, the other pillar is the pillar of networking. And we are part of the movement in Tanzania, in East Africa and beyond. So I'm a board member of the Tanzania Organic Agriculture Movement. Also, SAT as an organization is a member of Tanzania Organic Agriculture Movement. And also we are a member of the Ecological Organic Agriculture Initiative, which is implemented in about 9 African countries. And we lead the pillar of research, training and extension for Tanzania. And also we are a member of the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements, IFOAM Organics International. And yes, that's with networking. Yeah, and with this is a few pictures with some of the work that we are doing. In this picture, this is from our Uluguru Spice project, and you see some men and women with my colleague Joel, and these are clove seedlings, and members are picking seedlings to go and transplant in their fields. With this project, we've been able to introduce over 150,000 new seedlings of spices and planted in the farmers' fields. So we expect this will help to improve the amount of spices that are produced in the Uluguru Mountains, but also it helps to conserve the environment, to sequester carbon, and improve livelihoods of the farmers when they start harvesting from the cloves, from the spices. And yes, our network currently is over 20,000 farmers from 150 villages who receive training directly from SAT. This is in the Morogoro region, and we also work in Dodoma region. There we have a women project, and there we work with about 3,000 women. And we have a new project in Tabora, where we aim to work with about 1,000 young women between the ages of 16 and 24 who dropped off from school. And so we will be building their skills and capacity and training them on alternative livelihoods, basic life skills, business development skills, entrepreneurship, organic agriculture, and be able to establish some youth-led enterprises. Yeah, and our Farmer Training Center, this figure is from last year only. So this center was established we got the land in 2012 and we opened in 2013. So far, we've been able to train over 6,400 people since we started at the center. And most of the people come from different parts of Tanzania. The center has facility to accommodate people so they can sleep. We have a kitchen and cafeteria so they can sleep, eat, and attend trainings. So mostly it's farmers, it's extension officers, and field officers from other governments who attend the trainings at the center. Yeah. Then I mentioned about farmers who are certified. So we have 857 farmers who are certified, and they cultivated 848 acres of land last year in 2020. With the Pharma magazine that is published on a monthly basis, It reaches over 90,000 readers, and we co-published a magazine with BioVision Africa Trust based in Kenya. And the magazine is fully in Kiswahili, and it's only filled with information that is relevant for agroecology, organic agriculture, livestock keeping, and it's distributed to farmers on a monthly basis. But also, as you see on the picture, these are school children or schools, they're students in schools. So we distribute it to schools and universities as well. Yeah, and then we have at the Pharma Training Center, we have a farm as well, which we grow organic crops, and it's 600 acres. And on the picture, you see this is hibiscus. We grow a lot of organic hibiscus at the farm. We also do a lot of sunflower, sorghum, sesame, very little maize, and we do a lot of horticultural crops, especially during the rainy season. That's when we do most of the field crops. After the rainy season, like right now, it's not the rainy season, so we are doing the small horticultural crops and doing irrigation. And this is the organic shop that we've been running since 2013. And now we have established the SAT Holistic Group Limited, which is the social business I talked about a bit. And here, this is the East Africa Organic Mark. Since we are certified organic, and we use this mark, and it indicates that we are certified organic. Yes, the farmer-centered research program I talked about, but here, for example, you see on the picture, this is an ongoing discussion. There is a researcher and there is a pastoralist. And here the discussion was on agroforestry, and it was a discussion on trees, I remember, on this event. Yes, so briefly on some of the projects we do. I had mentioned of the Farmers and Pastoralists Collaboration Project. This project we started in 2017, and we use a holistic approach to address the specific problems of dryland inhabitants. And in the drylands, the rainfall amount is small. We receive less than 500 millimeters of rainfall. And so to be able to use this scarce water resource effectively, very not strange, but very strategic actions are required to be able to produce crops and also to survive in these environments. So effective water, soil, and pasture management to ensure decent production. But also the major reason as to why we're implementing the project and why it's called Farmers and Pastoralists Collaboration Project is due to the issue of conflicts between these two communities. Again, I don't have really the experience from Malaysia, but in Tanzania and in some countries where there are farmers and pastoralists or cattle keepers and crop producers, sometimes there are always conflicts and fights due to, of course, scarce resources, water, but also areas of land, feed for the animals, and feed for the human being. So in this project, it aims to reduce conflicts between these two communities, but also increase income, strengthen food security, balance nutrition, and climate resilience. So since 2017 to 2019, that was the first phase. And since it was quite successful, we were able to have the second phase that started last year, and it will go till the end of next year. And we are implementing this project with BioVision Foundation, Switzerland. And this graphic briefly describes or briefly shows the Farmers and Pastoralists collaboration. And I will start from the right-hand side. Here, some trainers and researchers providing training to providing training to the pastoralists, but also to farmers. And we see seasonal cropping. Seasonal cropping, this is when we do farming during the season. And mostly here, it's with the farming with the rains. And you will see that the fields are planted with live fences or and alleys. So there are trees that we have introduced as part of the agroforestry component of the project. And then in the middle, you have the crops. Also for the pastoralists, there is the harvesting of grass and storing it for use during the time when it's dry. Because before we started the project, one of the major problems that faced the pastoralists was not having enough feed for the animals during the dry season. So as part of the project interventions, we've trained them on how they can harvest hay and store hay bales for using during the dry season. Also, there is the aspect of with agroforestry, so we have tree nurseries at community level, and we have established tree nurseries in the villages. Also, there is beekeeping, and beekeeping to, of course, with the benefit of having honey and other byproducts, but also we have some elephants because the project is implemented in an area that is near a national park. And sometimes we have elephants coming out of the national park and going to the farmers' fields. So we've been experimenting with using bees to keep away elephants. And we have special trainings targeted for women. And so we have issues like handwork, making beads, producing liquid soap, also some weaving and making tie and dye with fabric, which is very, very well done by women. Also, we have the aspect of value addition with milling. And as you see, there's a milling machine and some packaged products. Also, we have PGS certified farm. So in this project, we have farmers who are certified organic using a participatory guarantee system. And this is depicted as well on the picture. Then we have, we've constructed some reservoirs for rainwater harvesting and storing. So the water can be used during the dry season or during the time when there is no rain. Also, we have the Farmer Training Center that provides trainings for the community. And we have data management, whereby here it's the information from the market, but also information from the farmers. And at the group level, we try to have communication between the group, also people who do business with products, so they know what farmers have, but also farmers know what is the price in the market. So it's a type of market information system that we have here. And we have the organic shop, the milling machine, also some solar dryers for drying and making sure the products are dried in good quality and condition. Also, since the pastoralists keep livestock, and livestock produce mostly milk, so we have milk processing facility. It's not yet completed, but it's at 80% construction level, and we expect to have the machines there in the next few months. So we will be processing milk, pasteurizing milk, producing yogurt, and maybe some other milk byproducts. Also, we do sunflower oil extraction from the produced sunflower by farmers, and it's sold as organic sunflower oil. And yes, also the energy saving stoves I talked about for conservation, but also reducing pressure on natural resources. Here's a picture of an energy saving stove. I think I have a better picture later that you'll get to see. Yeah. And yes, so some of the key results from the project. this was at, we say a terminal report, a quarter report, and 23,768 trees were planted in dryland areas and were surviving at this time. And 2,040 farmers and pastoralists were trained on agroecology and sustainable livestock production. 7,257 hay bales were made as climate adaptation strategy for pastoralists from other regions. And 880 farmers are organic certified and linked to organic market through joint marketing model. And 20 research findings disseminated and made accessible to the community. This is as part of the farmer-centered research program. Also, $80,854 were saved by 634 dryland farmers and pastoralists. So this is to improve access to finance for the rural community. We encourage saving and lending at the group level. And so we were able to have, or the farmers were able to save $80,854,000 and give each other in terms of loans, and then be able to pay the amount back. And also we work also quite closely with young people, with youth, especially young men, young women, and women who got children at a very young age and so dropped out from school. So we have various youth projects, and also we are, as I said, we're an inclusive organization. So we make sure we get everyone to be able to participate in our activities and be able to benefit with organic agriculture, processing and value addition or marketing of these products. Yeah. And I thought the curriculum implementation support for training institutes will be a very good project to be able to share, because in this project, it enables us to work at the national level. And we work with 29 agriculture training institutes all over the country. These institutes train students at certificate and diploma levels. And in 2018, we were able to work together with the Ministry of Agriculture and other stakeholders in reviewing the curriculum of agriculture production. And during the review, the courses of organic agriculture, gender in agriculture, environmental management, cooperatives, and communication skills were added as part of the new training curriculum. And so when especially organic agriculture, gender, environmental management were added in, that's where we really came in based on our experience to be able to share and build the capacity of the people. So we started this project to support the training institutes, especially on capacity building in these teams. And yes, this is a picture from one of the women farmers in Dodoma. It's also a dry land area. And when I say dry land, it's less than 500 millimeters of rainfall. And so this is her kitchen garden, and there she's able to produce some organic vegetables. We have another project called Fair Carbon for Us, in which we try to have farmers who plant trees and linking them to carbon markets, where they can get not compensation, but they can get money for these trees that they plant. And so far, there is an organization in Tanzania. It's an international organization. So we help them to sequester their carbon, or to offset their carbon footprint by this project. And it's a very good way, because they're sure that the money they're giving really goes to not just the trees that are planted, but it benefits the community of the people who live in this area and take care of the area, the environment plant these trees and make sure that the trees are growing. And it's been a huge success. So far we see new secondary forests coming up, as you see on the picture, with lots of trees. This is now 3 years. I think this is about 3 years. Or this will be the third year. And you see really nice trees and forests coming up. And yes, again, more trees. And this area is on the mountain, so it's sloping, and it's very important that it is covered. But so far there has been a lot of degradation that took place in this area, and the mountain was almost completely naked. But with this project, we have more trees coming up, and really communities are empowered and inspired to plant trees. So we see again more trees, and these are trees in the dryland area. Also, this project we are doing with the government, and they plant trees also for getting firewood for using in the field. This is an energy saving stove constructed at the household level. And so instead of having the 3 bricks and a lot of firewood used in cooking, this has only one place where you put the firewood, and you can cook in 2 places. It's very hygienic, and it keeps heat for a longer time. So you don't need a lot of firewood to use in this type of stove. Yeah, this is farmers in the farm, also with the newly planted trees. Yeah, some youth. And now with the work we are doing, the work of SAT, and as part of the key results from the Fair Carbon for Us, we have 150,000 trees planted and managed. And out of these, at least 17,525 trees are sold with the name Hero Trees to Apopo. This is the organization that we are helping to neutralize or to offset their carbon. And over 800 energy saving stoves were constructed and are in use. 100 farmers received training on tree nurseries, establishment, agroforestry, and technologies. Over 30 tree species were established in farmers' fields with at least 10 indigenous species. And 35 tree nurseries were established and managed by farmers. So these tree nurseries are established and in the field managed by farmers. The impact of the work of SAT, based on external evaluations, 97% of farmers could improve their situation. 76% have a more balanced diet. 61% reduce their input costs. 50% have better market access. 59% had reduction in water consumption or water use in the field, and 38% would increase their income. And for the sake of time, I thought I had so much time, but I'm afraid I might not have so much time like I thought I had. So I will be stopping here, and I say asante, haika, ashe, thank you. Asante, haika, ashe, it all means thank you, but in Kiswahili, which is our national language in Tanzania, haika is my mother tongue. Ashe is, again, thank you, but in Maasai, because we are inclusive and we work also with the Maasai or this indigenous community. So thank you very much. Now I will let us use the remaining half hour for discussions and questions, also input, etc. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Maro. That was a wonderful, such deep insights and very thoughtful sharing of your. It's wonderful to see how well ahead it is in terms of carrying out all the sustainable agriculture that we've been talking about. That is, that everyone would like to achieve, to execute and achieve. And from your presentation, I can see that we Malaysians have a lot to learn from you, definitely. Yeah, so maybe from there on, there's a lot of discussion in the future that can come about from this session. Perhaps other viewers can also share your comments on thoughts on what is the status of sustainable farming in your country. Like, for example, in Malaysia, we are still learning. We have a long way to go, and this session has proven that it is possible, and we can do so much more with what is happening in Malaysia. And there's a lot of work that we still need to do here in Malaysia. And clearly, we've seen that Ms. Maro has demonstrated that SAT is a great case study on how they are the practitioners that truly translate their mission and vision. They have also executed sustainable agriculture successfully, which seeks to integrate the three main objectives of sustainability into their work. We can see that very clearly in the vast array of activities that they carry out. They protect and conserve so that the environment is healthy. They also promote economic profitability from a strengthened local economy, which is amazing. And also there is a strong element of social equity as well, and I find this truly amazing. And from this example, we can see that every person involved in the food system in Tanzania, in the sustainable agriculture network in Tanzania, have come together and work together, and not in silos, because we don't want that. If we want to achieve sustainability, this is not the way to go, but we want to bring as many people together, and SAT has led the way and shown us the right path. Perhaps Ms. Maro can also elaborate further on this later, to share with us how to get growers and food sellers, consumers, distributors, how do you bring them together to ensure that sustainability is maintained along the food supply chain, the food production and supply chain. You're also well ahead with the project in forest restoration on degraded areas, very, very crucial. And this is also well ahead of the UN decade on ecosystem restoration. And there's so many key points that I would love to just bring up over and over again. I love your organic shop, and your solution to the human-wildlife conflict, which is a big problem here in Malaysia as well, in many of our farms, and the farmer-centered programs that you have, and so on. So there's a vast array. But before we go on into what I have to ask, I think we should try to answer some of the questions that the viewers would like to find out. So let's try to get some of the questions to you. One of the first questions that came up was, do you get financial support from the government?
Okay. Yeah. We work and collaborate closely with the government. On the slides, there is this project I mentioned where with tree planting. That's part of the ecosystem-based adaptation for rural resilience project, which is financed by the central government of Tanzania. So in implementing this project, we got partial financing from the government. So the government indeed provided financing for most of the work that we do for that project. And for us, this is very good and very important, because when the government provides financing, then it means they believe and they see that this is something important and something crucial. Yeah, but the other projects, these are all donor funded and not financed by the government. So the government really comes in with in-kind contribution, like for example, from the communities where we work, the areas that we use for training. So the fields are provided by the government through the local government authority, and then we use them to train farmers and cultivate these fields for farmers to see and to learn. Yeah. And also, yes, the government support is the framework in which we are able to operate. In our agriculture policy, we have organic agriculture recognized in the National Agriculture Policy for Tanzania, but also currently the government is working on the National Strategy for Ecological Organic Agriculture for Tanzania. And for us, we see this commitment and dedication from our government on really ecological organic agriculture. So I think I've expounded that also with other questions that will be asking on the government support that we receive. Yeah.
So that means you're saying that the government gives a very strong support in the initiative in sustainable agriculture. So much. So that means they are very, very supportive, and they provide necessary infrastructure and funds where necessary. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. So we need to get our government to come on board to understand that sustainable agriculture, organic farming is the way forward.
Yes.
That's a question by Mr. Fitri. How do you measure the success of the programs? Do you have any key performance index? I think the almost last slides you showed on key results that showed very clearly some of the measures of success that you have achieved. Am I right? Or do you have any other that you'd like to share?
No, I think it's a very good question. The slides respond to that, but it's very important when we do any initiatives, especially on agroecology and these alternative approaches, that we really establish own indicators for measuring progress. And also we should not measure ourselves in comparison to conventional agriculture. We really should treat this unique and special and have own indicators that we use to measure and track progress and performance. So, and it's very important to be able also to say with confidence that, you see, organic agriculture works and should be promoted. You should have a strategy for it. Then you speak that with data behind you, which you can show, and to show that, yes, you see, this is where farmers were, this is where farmers are now, and you see the impact and progress. So it's very, very important. I also recommend, if we're not yet doing this in Malaysia, or amongst our initiatives, that we really start tracking and monitoring progress and change. Yeah.
That's a very good tip there from Ms. Maro. I'm just curious, what's the scenario like in Tanzania in terms of conventional farming versus organic farming? How do you see that? Is it bigger, or the country is bigger on organic farming or conventional farming?
Yes, you see, conventional farming is highly promoted. It's highly promoted, it's big, and there's a lot of also money and business with conventional farming. So we don't compete. We don't compete against or with conventional farming. We believe it's like the sun and the moon. There is enough space for each one of us to shine without having to start a tug of war. So we do our thing and show really that this really works. It's good. We have farmers doing it. We have markets. We have shops. We show that, and we don't really bother or going and talking negatively or badly about other people and whatever they're doing. But indeed, they use a lot of effort and also a lot of money, a lot of promotions for conventional agriculture, because there is the business. You see, for us with organic agriculture, we don't sell fertilizers, we don't sell agro inputs. So there is not really, this is not there because we use locally available resources, locally available materials to make compost, to make the liquid fertilizers, to do top dressing and things like that. So it's really, it's different. And yeah, but we are happy. We have our space and we have built our credibility as a movement. And yes, we are there. At the moment, I say we are more or less at the same level. Yeah. Though conventional agriculture is big and strong, and also because there's the big money, which we don't really have. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that answer. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Do you have, I mean, from your activities, agriculture activities, you would have, agro waste, right? Do you do anything with the agro waste? How is your agro waste management?
Thank you for the question. Yes, we do work with waste. There was a time we tried.
Is my line bad?
Do you hear me? Okay, I hope the audience can still hear me. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I hear you very clearly. Yeah, we can
yes.
hear you very clearly, Janet. Yeah.
Yes, you see, with organic agriculture, and especially what we really promote, waste is wealth, especially this biodegradable waste, because you turn that to compost. There's some very good liquid extracts and biofertilizers you can extract from bio waste. So it's for us, we say waste is wealth. We even have a course that is called Sustainable Waste Management. And in this course, we really train people how to use different types of waste, recycle, reduce, but also reuse, and in particular, biological waste to be able to produce compost, biofertilizers, and liquid extracts for the crops.
Okay, thank you. So that was very clear. And someone actually suggested that you could also use this agro waste for mushroom farming. Perhaps something that you can explore further later, or maybe you're already doing. Yes. I'm not sure. Yeah.
We can explore that further. And I saw also, I quickly was checking on the chat box and I saw the question of mushroom farming. Yes, we tried to do mushroom production, and for us we used dried banana leaves as the matter in which we grew the mushroom on. But our major problem has been to produce the mushroom seed to be able to produce it. So we have to buy this or to source it from outside of Morogoro, and that has been a challenge. So if the person who asked the question, if they have knowledge or technical know-how on mushroom seed production to produce those spores, we'll be very happy to be able to learn and exchange and get this going, because we love mushroom. And also, yes.
Yes, I think all of us love mushroom. We Malaysians love mushroom as well. And we do quite a bit of mushroom farming in Malaysia. So maybe that's one area where we can learn from each other. Are you training farmers to make their own organic fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides in the agro activities or farming that you carry out?
Yes, this is actually the essence of our work. It's really using materials that are available in the area, self-sufficiency, independence, and not having to rely on external or heavy external inputs. So we train how to produce compost, liquid fertilizers using the different plants that are available in the area. And also we introduce some of these plants like aloe vera, neem, so Gliricidia, and at the end, if you will see the fields, the demonstration plots, really they're self-sufficient with useful plants. And most of the times you find really these plants are available in the villages where we go to work. And so it's very easy for farmers to be able to immediately put the training in practice because all the material is available in their local environment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another question here on your training. Are the trainers certified auditors or trainers? And are these trainers, are they also farmers?
Yes. So we have two types of trainers. So we have the trainers who train farmers. So the trainers who train farmers, these are normal facilitators at SAT. Most of them are graduates from the Sokoine University of Agriculture. But then we have farmers who have been farming, doing organic agriculture for a number of years or for a certain period of time, and they've been doing so well and so good. So we provide them with additional training as trainers, and then they're able to train other farmers. So we have the facilitators, but also we have farmer facilitators. Also, we have pastoralist facilitators who are from the cattle keepers, from the herders. And so we train them, then they go and train other pastoralists in their areas. So we say farmer to farmer, peer-to-peer training. And that has been quite successful, and it helps us to really reach even more people, because our trainers cannot train very many people. And even, for example, for the pastoralists, they speak a completely different language. So, and not everyone speaks the national language from this community. So for those few that get to be trained directly by our facilitators, then they're able to train their colleagues in their language. And we see that working so well. Yeah.
Okay, so people who are really doing the work and also those who are not like direct doing the work in the field, so you get the best of both. So that's a good strategy on the training part.
Yes.
Okay, another question.
But also maybe to add up, although the SAT facilitators are graduates, we have a policy that you practice what you preach.
Okay.
So at our office, we have a garden. So all facilitators work in the garden at the office. Right. So they practice what they train. They train the farmers in the garden at the office, at our office. Yeah. Thank you.
So they have office not only in the real office, but also the garden can become their office.
Of course, of course.
They work in the garden to practice what they learn in the classroom. Oh, right. Okay. Then there's a question of funding. Is it more of a bottom-up, like community or organization, or is it a top-down approach for what you're doing, the kind of work that you're doing?
Yeah, so I don't know if this entails the project funding, but so we have, as I showed in one of the slides, we have funding that really comes from farmers themselves through their own savings and through the saving and lending program that we train and support. So farmers put together their funding, but this is strictly for the farmers and for them to borrow, to use in terms of when they have a social problem or when they want to do to purchase something, and then they can borrow from this fund. But for the project funding, we write proposals and fundraise, and we have project partners that we have had over a long period of time. Our major partner is the Vision Foundation of Switzerland. We also have the Uluguru Spice project is financed by the Austrian Development Agency. and Land for Vorarlberg, which is the regional government of Vorarlberg in Austria. We also have the Liechtenstein Agency for Development, which supports the curriculum implementation support for training institutes project. And yes, to mention a few, we have different projects are financed by different partners.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So these are long-term partners that have, maybe come a long way with you and are well
Exactly.
aware
From
of,
the beginning. From
yeah.
the beginning, most of them are really from the beginning. From 2009, from 2011, when we got registered, we have had them as partners, so over almost 10 years. Yeah. And BioVision Foundation, even over 10 years. Yeah. And of course, the government through this project that I mentioned before. Yeah.
Right. So it's good I think they are very happy with the credibility of your projects. There's lots of evidences, there's a lot of success that can be measured. Everything's very visible and transparent. I think that's some of the few criteria that have made them very confident in SAT. Okay. Yes. Quite a few people are very interested to have a look at the design of your environmental friendly stove. Do you have any photo of that or anything that you can share? Or maybe
so there was that one photo, but maybe I will share with Dr. Elisa. I might have a small writing of it in English, and so I will share with her and she can maybe circulate.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But also on our homepage, I think on our homepage there could be a manual or a small manual about the energy saving stuff too. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For participants, don't forget to fill in the form if you like to get your e-certificates. So we've given the link. You can scroll up, or maybe our technical team can also post the link again for people to fill in the form, and also we can provide you the e-certificate if you like. Okay. Another question is that, are you fully satisfied with the way SAT is going right now? Do you have areas that you would like to further explore?
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, let me repeat the question.
Yeah.
Are you, as an organization, has SAT, or is SAT happy with where you are right now? Are there a lot of other avenues that you like to explore, and that you are, you're not there yet, that you like to perhaps start on in the next few years? Maybe you can share a little bit of that.
Well, thanks. First, we as an organization, indeed, we are very grateful for where we are at the moment. And yes, we've made significant progress in just about a decade since we started work. So really, there's no reason as to why we will not be happy and be happy with what we have been able to achieve as an organization. And yes, there's a lot of room for improvement, a lot of room for growth. And yes, we take one day at a time. And yes, we try to improve how we work, to get more efficient, to reach out to be able to reach out to more people and serve more communities. And so also we hope in the near future, we also are able to grow and share our network further. It's my first time being in touch with Malaysia. So I hope we are able to get in touch and also to keep I believe it's the beginning of new collaborations, new friendships and partnerships. So yeah, yes, there's always, every day is a new day to learn, to meet people. So it's the same for our organization. Every day is a new day to learn, to grow, and also to get inspired and get to be able to do other things. So we still see ourselves growing, learning, and yeah.
Yes, we are all lifelong learners.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Another question is that what is the rainfall like in Tanzania? Do you have good rainfall, or is the rainfall low? And if it's low, how do you manage issues with planting or growing your crops and vegetables? Do you use any special planting techniques? If you do, maybe you can share a little bit on that. Do you plant all year round, or is there seasons? Maybe you want to give some input on that.
Yes, indeed, Tanzania is very broad and very diverse in terms of agroecological conditions. So that also determines the amount of rainfall that is received in the area. So in the highlands, we have more rainfall, and so there they can cultivate at least twice a year or almost throughout the year, because they have more moisture in the soil and they have more rain, more rain. And here it's more than 2,000 millimeters of rainfall per year. Then we have the areas by midlands where also they still receive quite good rain, and they're able to have 2 cropping seasons. And then you have very special areas like the drylands, where you have one proper rainy season, which you can use to cultivate crops. So you're not able to cultivate crops throughout the year. And this is, it's the harsh environment, and rainfall amount is less than 500 millimeters. And so we have to use ways and techniques and technologies for drylands. So we use ways like, of course, composting helps, mulching helps. Also, we use swales. So these are now it's permaculture. We use some permaculture design principles and concepts to manage the flow of water during the rainy season, that we're able to have more of it sinking into the soil rather than washing out and eroding the soil. And also collecting the water and using it during the dry season to do irrigation for the small fields that we might have. So yes, it's really the techniques and technologies that we use are a little bit different, because we don't have the luxury of having plenty of water in the drylands. Also, we have 9 seeds per hole. We do double duck beds, and we also the half moons. These are different types of digging or plowing to really help have more water staying in the soil.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these are done concurrently and depending on the topography, I presume, of the area, and also the condition of the or the environment of the location of where you carry out the water capture, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, one last question before we end. I think it's already 10:30. I'm here in Malaysia, it's already 10:30. So we would like to, oh, there's another question. Oh, okay, so maybe we'll take this as the last question, because we have to, end the session. We've already come to the end of the program. So we have this question, and then I'll take one last question for Mr. Aris, okay, as the last question. So this question would like to find out, we spoke about the conventional agriculture and also the organic agriculture. Do you think organic agriculture or sustainable agriculture could, let's say, if the country decides to adopt sustainable agriculture, organic agriculture, as the main, technique of production, do you think that could sustain the country, the people, in terms of food production? Or do you think it should maintain as it is, like having conventional and organic coexisting? What would be your opinion on that?
Thank you for this question. Thank you for this question, and indeed it's a very thoughtful question. It's a very thoughtful question, and its answer is also yes. I can say with confidence, I believe the way to really feed a country and assure and guarantee of being able to feed the country for a long term is through the practice of sustainable agriculture, organic agriculture, agroecology. Because it's only this way of farming that does not negatively impact and complicate the probability of future food production in the area. And so if we are to look at today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next year, 10 years, 50 years to come, then we really should think in ways that are sustainable. So you will see that it's only really these systems that can sustain and assure that we will be able to produce and feed the population. So with other ways of farming, which are not sustainable, they cannot guarantee the probability of being able to feed people over such a long period of time. So if we're smart and wise, and especially at this time where also our planet is crying, then we really can do the right thing by growing healthy crops and having more farmers doing organic production. Yeah.
So in short, it's how do we use resources without exhausting the resources, right? How do we use natural resources without exhausting resources? So sustainable agriculture should be the way forward, because at the moment, with all the condition that we see around the world with our environment now, it's no longer business as usual. It should be business, not the usual way of doing business anymore. And it's no longer a time that we romanticize. It's a time for action and really walking the talk. And it's not just about, rhetorical paperwork, going to conferences and talking about it, but actually doing it on the ground. So yes, I think SAT has shown a good example, and it's something that a lot of us can emulate, from, and get lots of good ideas from your presentation today. Another question is, how do you see the prices of organic food versus the conventional food? And I would like also to find out who are the buyers of, if let's say the prices vary a lot, do they vary a lot? Like, who are the buyers? Like in Malaysia, the organic products, they're more expensive than the conventional ones. So only those so there's a niche group of customers or consumers that would buy the organic products. What about in Tanzania, like what you're facing?
Yes, thank you for this question as well. Indeed, with organic production and as well as marketing and prices, it's equally diverse in Tanzania. So it depends on where the farmer sells the product. If it's at the local market level, the prices are mostly the same. But if the farmer sells in the specific organic markets, for example, if they sell at the SAT organic shop, then they receive better prices. So at least a range of 10% more price than if it will be on the conventional market. So it depends on where the farmer sells the product.
That means they could. That's why there is how do you say that there are buyers, because you could get good price for affordable prices for your organic products. So that's a good information to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one question. This will be my last question. What about your seed saving initiatives? Do you carry that out, and how do you do that? I'm sure you do that, for your sustainable work on, agricultural activities. How does your
you said our what? I had saving our what saving measures?
Seed, SEED.
Seed saving.
Yeah, seed saving practices. How do you do that? Any of that?
Yes, we do seed saving. We have a seed bank. So we after seeing some of the challenges we experienced, also with some very rare plant crop seeds really getting almost distinct. So we started seed saving initiative. So we constructed a facility, a small facility to use as seed bank. And also we do propagation of crops, of seeds. So for example, we have allocated an area of land on the farm where we just propagate the seed and store, but also give farmers to continue producing and propagating, that this seed is not getting completely lost. So yes, and also we try to promote seed diversity in Tanzania. Also, we do local seed fairs and get to show our local seeds, our heritage also, and create awareness about the importance of preserving the local seeds. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a very important initiative that every community should be taking up now. So thank you so much, Ms. Maro. Before we end, can everyone please don't forget to fill in your attendance and for you to get your e-certificate, which we will send you. And please look at the chat or comment section, the chat box in your Zoom to look at the link again, right? Where you can submit your attendance. Do you want to take this last question? Okay, we do not. We don't have time to take question anymore. Yeah. I think
yes.
Okay.
Maybe there is one question which I've
maybe
seen.
We can answer
it
this one
twice.
Maybe
there was a question about the staff at SAT. So we are a team of 84 staff.
Okay. Yeah,
and we have quite a number of volunteers. And so as I said, we work in 5 regions of the country. And our network of field facilitators with the farmers is over 120 farmers who work with training and doing teaching in the community. Yes. So that was with the number of staff at SAT.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe because we have this one last question, so I feel bad to leave any questions out. So maybe we can just take this one last question, even though we are already past time. So organizers, please forgive me, but let's have this one question, last question. Okay. What material do you normally use
for compost?
Yeah, for compost. Maybe you can share.
Yes.
With us.
Okay, so there's also a very nice video. Our empowered farmers also really do quite very good training. There's a very nice video on YouTube about making compost by SAT on our YouTube channel. So really farmers explain very good and use they make one type of compost, but the very basic compost, depending on materials you have, any biodegradable material can make compost. So that's first. But when you make compost, avoid using fresh meat. Meat is not very good when you're making compost. So if you have grass, especially green grass, then you have some dry grass for the carbon, and you have manure, animal manure or chicken droppings, cow droppings. If you don't have, it's still okay. You can still make your compost without the manure. And as long as you have green matter, you have dry matter for the carbon, you're really good to go. You should have water and make sure your compost is well aerated, and that it also, when it's done, it gets out with also a good smell, and that in the process it's not producing some negative greenhouse gases. And then, yes, you need some soil, better topsoil as you make the compost, and just lay the material. You can start with the dry material so as to improve the aeration, then add some green material, add a layer of topsoil, and then continue with dry material, green material, a layer of soil, and always make sure it's well aerated. So at the community level, where we don't have sophisticated equipment and tools, we just do it manually. And we use a wooden stick that we insert in the middle and use it as a thermometer to measure the temperature. So we know that the compost is heating. And also we can track to make sure the progress of the compost is good. But this video really provides a very good step-by-step approach to making compost. And also we have training materials on our homepage on compost making. And there's so many different types
Good to know.
of compost.
So everyone, please subscribe to SAT's YouTube channel after this. Like and subscribe. Subscribe, yeah. Okay. Before we end, we would like to take a group photo. If everyone is happy to turn on their cameras, we can all take a group photo with Miss Maro. She has come all the way from Tanzania, you know, spend close to 2 hours with us, giving inputs and sharing a lot of information and a lot of experiences. So we would like to take a photo with her. So please turn on your cameras and let's take a group photo for a short while.
Okay, I will take the group photo. Miss Mero, can you stop sharing?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, did I stop? Yes, I did.
Okay,
Yes, I did, yeah.
Wait a moment, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we will have three slides. Okay, smile. One and okay. Second is okay, smile. Right, and the third one, the last one is okay. Thank you very much, everyone, ladies and gentlemen.
So thank you so much to our inspiring panelists, Miss Janet Maro from SAT Tanzania, and to our team working behind the scene. Also special thanks to all our viewers for taking the time to join us in this webinar and staying with us till the end. So thank you so much again, everyone. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
It was really nice. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Miss Maro.